Hey, good morning, world. I got my live for the first time on this page. Thank you, Lord, for another day. You know, I never take that for granted. I want to say happy Valentine's Day to everyone that celebrates. I wanted to come on here and talk about Code 31 Academy, which is how you create your own magazines, your own clothing line. If you want to do media, anything that you want to do, you have to manifest it, right? Um, but if you want to be an entrepreneur, this is what I'm teaching mostly, is how to be an entrepreneur, especially to my people that are disabled or have disabilities, or people that have a 9 to 5 and they just want to start building their own legacy through entrepreneurship. Um, my name is Coach D from Code 31. Stands for competition officially doesn't exist. 31 is my basketball number. And I actually became an entrepreneur out of survival, actually. I was injured on my job almost 30 years ago, October 24th, 1996. And I was pretty much starved out. Workers' comp took away my medical, my financial security. They tried to destroy my credibility as a person, as a human being. And I had to figure out how I was going to survive. You know, thank God that I had family that supported me on this journey. But to those that don't, this is where Code 31 Academy comes in, where I teach you how to become an entrepreneur, how to be your own boss, where you don't have to answer to no one but yourself. And that starts with, okay, what kind of career do you want? What do you want to become an entrepreneur in? And as you see, I got the heating pad on my back, on my neck, I should say, and then I'm going to put it on my back because I am in a lot of pain. I endured getting hit by a car last year. Literally crossing the street, I got hit by a car. But I can't go into details. All I want to tell you is that I am in extreme pain. But again, you can't allow circumstances to make you stop what you want to do in life. You still have to live your life through everything. Peace through the pain again. That is my mantra. I'm going through the peace through the pain. I'm trying to achieve peace through the pain again. Good morning, good morning. How are you? Happy Valentine's Day if that's what you celebrate. I just wanted to be an encouragement with my Code 31 Academy page. I started my media company in 2018. I started my magazines in 2022. I now have 63 magazines. To God be the glory. I also created my Code 31 Academy class last year, and I had 6 students, and all 6 students are now magazine publishers. They all have their own magazines. They all are editors. They all have their clothing companies. These are mine. When I first started, my friend, he used to do my covers and my PDF. The PDF is actually a digital of your magazine. So like if you're on a computer or your phone, you could just scroll up and see the whole magazine. That is what a PDF is. Let me show y'all real quick. And to the ones that are on here, thank you for joining my live. If you download Canva, you can create logos, magazines, promos. Chat GPT is also another program that you can download. I'm not getting paid to tell y'all this. I'm giving y'all free game because you're up with me at 6:27 in the morning. CapCut is another amazing one if you want to do videos and editing and stuff like that. So I'm going to show y'all a PDF real quick, what a PDF is. So this magazine right here that you see, okay, so y'all see this magazine right here? This is a physical copy of my magazine. This is the PDF for the same magazine. Y'all see that? So when you buy my magazine, you get a free PDF. So this will show you the digital form of a magazine that you create with Code 31. And then you get a physical copy a week or two later in the mail. $100? What do you mean by $100? Thank you so much. Listen, so I teach people how to become entrepreneurs in my classes, right? I have different packages, but here's the thing with me. Even if you don't have no money, I will still teach you, because my goal is to have 1 million entrepreneurs. I want 1 million people to believe in themselves, that they could be their own business, you know, their own business owners. They don't have to answer to nobody. I remember when I wrote for other magazines, right? And I would say, yo, I want to do a cover on, you know, the TikTokers. And I literally had to beg this person to put these TikTokers in the magazine. And I said to myself, I will never have to answer or beg anybody to put anybody in a magazine. So I created my own magazine. And again, I went from a friend of mine doing the covers to the PDFs, and now I create the whole thing myself. And I said, I want to teach other people how to create their own magazines, their own clothing lines. You know, if you want to pursue a career in media, I can teach you all of that. I just did a fashion show with Kalia Clark. Are you saying that's bad in a good way or bad in a bad way? Are you saying that's good in a good way or in a bad way? Because I feel like, I think I did my thing. I think I did a pretty good job. I learned how to cartoon. This is another thing, guys. When you're coming up with an idea, right? Everybody has done everything that you're trying to do, but try to put your twist on it. If you see somebody else and you like the way they do their magazines or their clothing line, you know what I'm saying? You know, learn off of what they did, but try to put your own twist on it. Don't try to do things because somebody else did it this way and they achieved a lot of money or they went viral. Try to make it your own. When I make my magazines, I try to make it my own. So I incorporated my cartoon style into it, but it's still, you know, when I interview like these legends, like that's Sparky D and T Money from Yo MTV Raps, you know what I mean? Let's see. This is Chuck D from Public Enemy, you know? I gave him his own magazine at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So I said, you know, I wanted to do a magazine in black and white. You know what I mean? So whatever you choose to do, just keep in mind that there's 1 million people that do magazines. There's 1 million people that do clothing lines. There's 1 million people that do media. But if you put your own twist on it, right, and you stay in your own lane, you will be successful, you know? Financially, I'm not successful yet, but I have achieved so much. I have interviewed Rakim, T.I., KRS-One was my first interview. I just interviewed Raheem Devon and Razkaz the other night. I've met Method Man several times. You know what I mean? Prayer and Friends. So what I do is when I now cover events, I create whole magazines from that event. Nobody else is going to do that. I went down to Atlanta and I met Clarissa Shields. You see that? And I just gave her her magazine the other day. I mean, a couple of weeks ago when she was in New York. So whatever you do, just make sure that you do it to where people know that that's your style. So when people see me do my interviews, and excuse me, that's my dog. He's up now drinking his water. So I got to get ready to take care of him this morning. When you make your own business, right? Make sure when you create a name that name is a name that represents you. My name is Code 31. It stands for Competition Officially Doesn't Exist. 31 is my basketball number. And then you create a logo. See that? That signifies who you are. And then you establish that. And then you go out and you promote your brand. I go out and I promote my brand. I wear all my clothing is my brand. You see that? All my clothing is my brand. Even my sweatpants is my brand. You see that? So everywhere you go, you got to represent your brand. You got to represent who you are. You want to like stir up conversation about what you do. So this was my first. Someone is what? Well, just because something isn't doing what I don't know what you mean by that. With all due respect, just because someone isn't doing something doesn't make that something worth producing. I don't understand what you mean by that, but I'm going to say this. Whatever you do, you're making an impact. Whether it's something small that could become bigger, you're doing something. I ran into somebody and they were jokingly telling me that, oh, you probably don't want to interview me because I'm a nobody. Don't ever make yourself feel like that you're not worth somebody else's time, whether it be in media or any genre, right? Anything that you work on is worth producing, whether it be clothing or a magazine. Anything that you work on is worth producing. Anything that you put your hard work into is worth it. Even if you are the only one at that time believing in yourself, it is worth it. When I started doing media, nobody really believed that I could do media. Nobody believed that I could interview a KRS-One, a Rakim, a Mario Van Peebles, Blair Underwood. These are just some of the names that I have interviewed in my career. It's to the point now where people try to blackball you, right? Because I don't have to do certain things that they have done in order for their career to be where it is. And I'm getting ready to go because move, Chuck, go. My dog just came in, so I got to take care of him. But I thank everybody that came on this live with me. You can follow me at Code31Mag, Code31Media on Instagram. I'm also on TikTok, Code31 Brandon. No, sorry, Code31Academy and Code31Media. I hope that y'all learned something from my first live on here. Again, and I teach Code31 Academy. You can hit my email, code31media@gmail.com. All right, y'all, I gotta go. Signing off, Code31. Later, y'all. Chuck, I'm coming. You always do this. All right, later, y'all.